We live in Toronto, Canada, where T&T just opened a brand new downtown location. T&T is part Asian grocery chain, part cult. People love this place, so we lined up with everyone else to check out this grand opening. We're going to be trying a bunch of their stuff, from the frozen food to the hot and fresh items. And we're going to let you know what's worth the hype and what to pass on.
This eye.
All before our cats can steal the goods.
All right, that's everything. We just got back from the grand opening of the downtown T&T, which luckily for us is about a 10-minute trek through the snow. Yesterday we got a lot of snow, I think about 25 centimeters overnight, but it did not stop us from going to the T&T and getting our tasty treats. That's what T&T stands for. If you didn't know, it's Tasty Treats. We did a downtown-sized haul, which means as much as we could comfortably carry walking back.
Yeah, it was the grand opening. It was like a party in there. They had music going, it was full, there was a lineup. It's a good sized location. It's where the world's biggest bookstore used to be. It was like an old bookstore, I think it opened in 1980. I spent quite a lot of time in there, but since it's been torn down. In the US, they just had the opening of their first T&T. I believe it was in Seattle. We've had them for a while here. This downtown location is about the same size as the College and Spadina one. The layout of the store is really interesting. It's kind of spread out. You have to go through these different sections, kind of like in a circle. They have their like normal groceries, their frozen stuff, their snacks, and then like the fresh food section. So they got the hot food, they got the sushi, the bakery, they got everything. But it's just so central. There's a university in the area. There's just a lot of people who love Asian food in the area. And Nova's a big fan of Asian food as well. So yeah, T&T is definitely in my favorites along with Farm Boy, and we're happy we actually made it on opening day.
They also have a crepe station at this new location, which I've never seen in any T&T before. And they basically offer a variety of like savory crepes that are kind of in this like street food style. So we got one to try. It was really good. Were they a little heavy-handed on the onion? Maybe. They use the onion as more of like a filling instead of a garnish. So I do have like full on onion breath right now, but it was good. They also put in 2 crispy pieces of fried things inside. I could probably do one. It was a little too much on the crispy. It's something cool to try if you go visit that location. They also have some fresh bubble teas there, but I think I'm gonna leave the bubble tea to the bubble tea masters.
Start with the fresh food.
So I basically got literally a little bit of everything that they offered so that we can try. No, you're not having any kibble. Being cute will not get you food. So we got a nice little selection of their kind of fresh cooked meals. We got some sushi, we got some of their hot foods, got some dessert, of course. And then we also got a selection of frozen T&T stuff that we're gonna try later on. This is a classic. It's fried noodles. Now let's get to the good stuff. That was the General Chow chicken. Very tasty. Good balance of batter and chicken. They had some broccoli, and I thought just like, why not? And obviously I know what broccoli tastes like. All their hot food looks really fresh, and this has always been the case in any T&T that I've walked into. I'll say out of all grocery hot food offerings, it's always the most appealing looking. Maybe it's because I'm Asian, maybe it's because it's actually just fresh. You hear that crunch? I gotta say T&T does their vegetables like to perfection. Perfectly crunchy and perfectly cooked, not overcooked like I've had at some other grocery stores. The beef brisket is really good. It really just like falls apart, cooked really well. I'd probably get that one again. It also comes with some, I think, winter melon. Tasty. This is like a spicy salt and pepper pork chop. Very juicy, a little fatty too, but cooked really well. This type of thing is better if it's not mixed in with the other saucy stuff because it's supposed to be a bit crispy. This is a sticky rib. The flavor's really good. Overall, the hot food is really good and I would definitely get it again. The meat's good, the vegetables are good. If you just want like a really quick lunch, you don't even have to wait for anything, you just go and self-serve. This is a great option.
These fresh, colder items is stuff I picked out. Julia got some of the hot foods, so I'm gonna start with the salmon aburi.
$10 for 6 pieces. At Waterworks, we paid $20 for 6 pieces. This is literally half the price. But I will say, it doesn't look that torched on top. It tastes like half the price of the other one. It's still good. I probably wouldn't get it again because like I treat this style of sushi like a delicacy and I just really want to enjoy it made really well. I think a torch style sushi is just not the type that you want to like pre-make and then leave there because it just doesn't maintain its integrity. Even if it was torched to begin with, it's gonna start to get soggy. So it's okay, I wouldn't get this one again. But the salmon quality is pretty good. This is a classic salmon avocado. They're doing some extra shit. There's some like, I think like seaweed and sesame seeds sprinkled on top. I'm not typically a fan of doing extra shit on sushi. I kind of like it just like clean as it's meant to be, but let's see how it is. The rice is fresh, the fish is fresh. For like a to-go thing, even though this is not that expensive, I'd probably opt to get one from an actual sushi restaurant.
The avocado's fresh, the rice is not dry. No complaints, honestly, for $8 for this tray, I'd grab something like that for lunch. It's clean, it's fast, it's tasty.
I would stick to the hot meals because this is Chinese and this is not. It's alright. Okay, this is beef with tripe and clearly a little bit spicy.
I picked this out. I personally like tripe and I like this kind of spicy beef. Julia's mom has made it before, so I was really interested. It's got a nice kick. It being cold does not mess it up at all. I was like prejudiced against cold meats, but now I'm a fan.
Pretty good. So they have a fridge of these cold dishes on the side, which Asian people love to eat, especially like on the side with some congee or something like that. So it's a good side dish.
It's tasty. We have a bunch of frozen stuff as well. We got snacks, we got ice cream. So there's more stuff to sample.
The first thing we're gonna try is the stewed pork belly with mustard greens. This is a classic. If you're Asian, you've probably eaten something like this before. When I picked it up, I thought it came with rice. Like I thought it was kind of a meal on its own. It is just the pork belly and the mustard greens. It's still like a main dish for your dinner, but you probably have to make rice on the side to make it a complete dinner. That's pretty decent. The flavor is well balanced. It's both like savory and sweet. Actually a little more on the sweet side, which surprises me. But the meat to fat ratio is also really good. The meat is quite tender for something that you can just like steam, set aside for like 25 minutes while you make some rice. This is a pretty good deal. I think this is pretty legit because making stewed pork belly takes hours when you actually make it from scratch. So to have it ready in just a short amount of time is quite nice. The thing that I'm always bracing for when I have Asian food is that it's too salty, but it's not too salty. It's like actually a very balanced flavor, even given the fact that I'm not eating it with rice, but just on its own, it's really good.
I guess I just associate frozen food with like just whatever quick garbage, hungry man dinners. I do have a point of reference because Julia's mom makes pork belly. Obviously, levels above this, like she makes the legit shit. This is really good for something that we just grabbed out of a frozen food section, whipped up in a few minutes. This is fabulous. Let me try the mustard greens. I don't really like this one. It's just like very concentrated, very pungent.
Because it's coming out of a frozen packet, they definitely don't have as much texture to them. Usually they're quite crunchy, but these ones are kind of just like mushy because they've been like sitting under these pork, you know, got all that condensation from being frozen and then steamed. This you can just get actually in a separate packet, separate pickled packet, not frozen, and it'd probably be better. This is why this guy has to get locked up, because he's a thief. He's a criminal.
Jail, right away.
Jail.
What about this other criminal?
Any last words, Nova?
Well, she's not being executed.
Jail. God, no! And that's filming with cats. Pork and leek dumplings here. They look really freezer burned. Like as I was cooking them, it seems like one side is kind of like really white. I definitely cooked them thoroughly. This is what it's supposed to look like, but a lot of them are like looking opaque on one side. I'm a dumpling connoisseur. My mom makes amazing dumplings. I've learned how to make dumplings from her. I love dumplings. Probably one of my favorite foods. If not, maybe my favorite. Oh, I stabbed it like a...
Who stabs their favorite food?
It's okay. I think leek maybe just doesn't really freeze well. Like it's not the greenest. My mom did mention one time that they are best had fresh and they don't really freeze that well. This might not be a T&T dumpling specific thing. Might just be the flavor that we got is not one that freezes well. I will say it also doesn't taste overly salty. Like I've definitely had frozen dumplings where I'm just like, this is just like MSG central, and after I'm done eating them, I'm super thirsty. These don't have that like super preservative taste to them.
Damn.
I've had a lot of dumplings. It's okay. This is the soup dumpling, which we fucked up a few of them. So don't forget to put in the little parchment paper for steaming that they give you that's in the package. Mmm. They're good, and that is like a good amount of juice. Super accurate Xiaolongbao flavor. Doesn't taste like a random frozen one. It like actually tastes very legit. I'd say the dough on the outside is a little bit thicker than what I'm used to, but they probably need to do that because they're coming frozen. And if they're as thin as they usually are, I don't know if any of them would come out intact. So this is good. I would get this again.
Okay, I'm pretty excited about these ones because just like a couple of months ago, we had these in Taiwan, like the legit thing. I want to relive a little bit of that. For a frozen thing, that's incredible.
This is siumai, which is a pork and shrimp, like open style dumpling. I'm sure you guys are probably very familiar with this. They have this at dim sum. It's mid. I wouldn't get it again. Tastes nothing like dim sum. Tastes like it was frozen. I can get that at dim sum for much better. It's gonna be a no for me.
I'm a big fan of dim sum, so I was actually really looking forward to this one. I'd rather just save that for like a real dim sum trip. This is just like some weird frozen variant. Yeah, I'll pass.
The last thing we have is the green onion pancake, which is another Asian classic. I love green onion pancake, and this recipe, it says, has 8% more green onion than the traditional recipe, which I'm down for. I always kind of feel like there's not enough green onion, so they modernized it to add some more green onion. You can see the layers. It's delicious. This is actually something my mom does not make. She makes like the bread version. It's a lot thicker, the dough. She said that this version, the flatter one, is like more effort and just takes longer to make. So one little pancake like this actually takes quite a bit of time to make from scratch. So it's sick to be able to just throw one on the pan and it's done in like a matter of minutes. And I have bought these before, different brands of frozen ones. and they were very oily. These ones are great. They don't feel overly oily at all. They're nice and crispy on the outside, which we did because we cooked them like that, but the layers taste good. So I'm glad I got the family pack because these are really good.
Nova, would you like some? Can you share your thoughts? Why are you shy all of a sudden? You've been screaming all night. I don't know if I needed the 8% more green onion at the T&T. They have like a crepe station and they went crazy on the green onion. A little too much, so maybe I'm just kind of weary of green onion.
You talking shit?
Y'all are doing this right. Tastes fresh. Tastes like something that Julia's mom could have made, even though she doesn't make this exact one. The aftertaste on this is really good too. This is a surprise hit for me. You gotta try this.
This is just my favorite dessert. It is red rice in coconut milk with some sago in it, which is those little clear tapioca bowls. And what I love about this is you can eat it hot or cold. And it kind of has a different texture when it's cold. When it's cold, you taste more of the texture of the rice and the tapioca balls. And when it's warm, it kind of feels a bit more like velvety and the balls just kind of like melt in your mouth. This one is also sago, but this one has some taro chunks in it. So good. Sticky rice ball with black sesame. And I actually got Roman's mom on this too. She loves this. They always make these to perfection. The sticky rice is so fresh. It's dusted with some like coconut sprinkles on top. I mean, this is kind of a whole meal itself. Look at that. Look at that chunky guy. So tasty. If you haven't had them before, I would urge you to try these ones. The first thing I saw was green tea ice cream. But green tea ice cream is common. So I saw black sesame ice cream, which I haven't had as frequently. So I thought I would try that instead. Maybe I should have gotten green tea. I think what we've learned from this tasting is that, I mean, some T&T things are good and some are not. Just because there's a T&T brand on it doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna be good. Like, every company is trying to make every single product these days. So you kind of have to just like try a few things out, experiment, see what's actually worth buying and what isn't. Hopefully you've learned some of that from us today. That concludes the tasting. Thank you for joining us. We're going to actually eat now, and we'll see you in the next video. Ow, Nova, ow. She literally just jumped straight from the floor onto my back.